Hello, second graders. Today is your day for writing, and you have two sheets that are stapled together. And the first one says "Our Turn" on the top, and it says "Write a question." Together, let's write a question about the picture, and we're going to end it with a question mark. And then we're going to complete the editing checklist together. Okay? So, writing a question. You are so lucky because they give you the question words right over here. You can make a question with one of these words: what, who, where, why, and is. So, those are the question words. So, we can start our sentence with one of those words and figure out what we want to say. Okay? So, look at the picture. I see a little kid there. It might be a girl with a ponytail behind her. It might be a boy. We're not sure. It doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. And they have sandals on, so it must be warm outside because we don't wear sandals in the wintertime. It's too cold on our feet. Sandals on, shorts on, a backpack or some kind of a bag that he's carrying or she's carrying, and a hat. What kind of a question do you think what kind of questions do you have about this picture? Um, My question, this is what I'm thinking. Is this kid going to school? Because they have a backpack, right? And he's dressed or she's dressed. So that's my question. Okay. So let's go ahead and write that one. Is this kid going to school? Okay. So we're going to start off with is, and that's one of our question words. Is, and then this kid. Okay. Is this kid going? Go. I know that's one of my syllables. Going. My other one is ing, and I know how to spell that. Going. Is this kid going to school? School is kind of a tricky word, but I do know how to spell that one. School. And then I think that's all I need to ask, right? Is this kid going to school? That's a question. So I hope yours looks like mine. Is this kid going to school? Okay, now we have to do our checklist at the bottom. And this is where some of you are forgetting. You're forgetting to do the checklist and you're not coloring it in like you're supposed to. So the first thing is, does it make sense? That's a question that makes sense. Is this kid going to school? That is making sense to me. So we get to color that star in, just that star. Remember, you only get to color in one star at a time as you're checking your checklist. Okay, I did that star. The next one says, do I have capital letters? Did I start my sentence with a capital letter? And if I use the word I, is it a capital letter? Well, I did start with a capital letter. So I don't have the word I anywhere. So I can color that star in. I didn't have any names in there either. It does ask you if you have any names. I don't know this kid's name, so I can't use his name or her name. Okay, next one says ending punctuation. Okay, I'm looking. I forgot to do that. So I have to go back and I have to put that on there. Remember, backwards C, up in the air with a line down and then a dot at the bottom. That is a question mark. Now I did that and I can color in my star. Okay. And the last one says spaces between your words. I did put all my spaces in there. So I get to color my last star in. Okay, so now a question word. They're so nice to give us those question words up in the corner. So let's turn our paper to the next one. And here it says, your turn. I see it. It says, your turn now. Write questions. Here are your question words. Right there. Here is your picture. I see a dog there. I see some presents here. The dog has a like banner or pennants behind him back there. And there's some party hats here. There's a lot of questions I have about this picture. You need to write 2 different questions. You can't write the same one on both lines. 2 different questions, and make sure you do your editing, coloring your stars. 2 questions about this picture. I think it would be really easy because I can think of a lot of questions about this picture. Okay, so do those. Make sure you color your stars at the end and then turn it into the blue drawer. Okay.